The brain works in mysterious ways, or are they mysterious? The best authors and minds in the area of psychology have given us all the information we need in order to understand how our brain really works. So let's get started. First on the list is Thinking Fast and Slow, which has received an incredible amount of recognition since it was first published in 2011. Kahneman explains in detail the two systems that control how we think and act, one of those systems being fast and the other being slow. The knowledge contained within this book will really help you to understand how your thought process takes place. Furthermore, you'll be able to use this information to your advantage when trying to improve your life and adopt good habits. Almost everything we do on a daily basis is because of habit. If you are serious about living a successful and fulfilling life, then changing your habits should be a huge priority for you. The Power of Habit, written by Charles Duhigg, goes deep into detail on the science behind habits and why they exist. Duhigg also goes on to explain the major steps to changing your habits for the better. If you are curious to learn more about habits and how to use them to your advantage, you can't afford to leave this book off your list. Ever wondered why we make the decisions we do? Dan Ariely's book, Predictably Irrational, challenges the common misconception that we naturally act in very rational ways. Ariely explains that all the decisions we make are systematic and predictable, and therefore meaning that certain senseless behaviors people tend to have towards things are senseless at all. They are predictable. Influence is an absolute goldmine and should be a must-read on anybody's list. If you are a business owner, salesman, or in fact anyone trying to climb to the top of the ladder, you know how important it is to be persuasive. Cialdini explains exactly what makes people say the word yes and how you can apply this understanding to any situation in your own life. There are 6 principles involved in any type of persuasion, and this book teaches them all. Malcolm Gladwell has written an incredible book on how we all think, without really thinking. In other words, the book explains how our brain often makes split-second decisions without truly thinking about them. Gladwell says these split-second decisions aren't as simple as they seem, and within blink are live examples of people who are able to make powerful conclusions within a second's observation. This is an awesome read for anyone looking to improve their decision-making skills and learn more about the science behind making these decisions. The Heaths put together this incredible book on the conflict between the two different systems in our brain. These systems are the emotional mind and rational mind, both of which constantly compete with each other in everything we do. This is what makes the difference between positive life-changing decisions and poor, damaging decisions. Switch uncovers it all, and it's one of the best psychology books to be reading this year. Stumbling on Happiness comes at psychology from a slightly different angle. Within this book, you'll find some incredible insights on humans' abilities to predict the future, as well as whether or not we are able to confidently predict whether we'll like it or not once we get there. Imagination, illusion, and misconception are the core topics discussed within this masterpiece written by Daniel Gilbert. Sometimes I think too many people put emphasis on IQ and not EQ. As well as IQ, having emotional intelligence will massively improve your ability to live a happy and successful life, not just in terms of relationships, but within your career and your own physical and mental health. Goleman explains emotional intelligence in much more detail within his book. Adding this to your reading arsenal would be a very wise move. In his widely praised book, award-winning psychologist Jonathan Haidt examines the world's philosophical wisdom through the lens of psychological science. Haidt shows a deeper understanding of enduring maxim like, "Do unto others as you would have others do unto you," or "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger," can enrich and even transform our lives. The concept behind the paradox of choice is one that will resonate with almost everyone watching this video. In today's world, everyday decisions have become much more complex. As a result, we have started taking a lot more time to make our minds up. We are wasting time. This book takes a lot behind the science of choice and why more choice is not always a good thing. A definite read. That's it for this video. If you like this video, then a sub and a like to our channel would be very helpful. Thank you.